Without waiting for an answer, Golem launched into his explanation. Somewhere a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room.
You gotta do it with Cockney accent, though.
What? I have to do it
Because it's his explanation.
I don't know how to do a Cockney accent.
Somewhere a pretty young girl is trapped in a tiny room.
That is a terrible Cockney accent. I would rather do my poor British accent than that.
The door of the room is the slot and the number of the Chinese people outside the room who can use a side slips of paper to that girl.
Sound like Sylvester Stallone having a stroke.
On the base of the Bible, the places that went naturally Chinese.
Unfortunately, the young lady has no idea what the questions say. It's not even close.
How could you say?
But then how could she? She's never learned Chinese.
I never learned Chinese.
Hey, I'm walking here. Apart from a Hong Kong action movie or two in college, she's never even heard of it.
What now he's Italian? So for the unfortunate lady, each note that looks like nothing more than a bunch of stranger symbols. Let's go through all the European ones. Before she was walked away, she was given an order. Specifically, she was told to write an appropriate response to each question she received and slipped that answer back through the song.
Are you saying words anymore?
Yeah, I am.
I literally couldn't understand.
French people are just drunk and slurring their words 90% of the time. I don't know what other European accents exist. Wait, Russian? Does that count as Europe, or is like Russia not Europe? I don't know how that political environment works.
I don't fucking know.
Once the Chinese questions begin to show up, however, she finds herself at a loss. Oh dear, she says to herself, why can't I read these at all? Whatever am I to do? Is there any other fucking European accents? You do Scottish? I don't know how to do Scottish very well.
You do Spanish?
Very racistly.
No.
I don't, well.
As if French wasn't.
French wasn't racist. That was, I've been there. They genuinely talk like that. They, I don't know what a Spanish accent would sound like not being a piece of shit to the Spanish people. It's really hard. I don't know, what do Spanish people sound like? In my head, it's just like,
is it the moment of
What is that?
or with like a more Spanish accent, like,
it is the moment.
I don't understand what that even is.
Spanish people are just like a blur.
You're like Fuzzy Wuzzy or whatever the fuck. The guy that teaches you languages. He's... Do you remember those commercials? Yeah. The goddamn green fuzzy guy that teaches you languages.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what it, like, I can't do... I'm trying to think of like what Scottish would sound
It is at this
awful.
moment that she spots a bookshelf. The bookshelf is filled with thick books. Upon examining them, she discovers that they are some sort of Chinese phrase books. They have no explanation of what anything means, but show Chinese responses to Chinese questions. Am I supposed to use these?
What accent
I
is that?
don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were doing like a vampire accent at first. Like, the questions they keep coming.
We were stuck for so long. I don't know. I don't do voices.
Why? You need to learn
I
accents.
don't fucking know them. I've had better days.
I've had better days.
Yesterday with Marty, I did a somewhat better job at when this guy named...
You could. I
it was a Mexican character where I kind of did a little... I kind of had something.
questions keep coming.
No.
I don't know what other what is a Mexican accent?
You can't think of a single other one?
No.
Than, like a cartoon character?
Yeah, like that's Speedy Gonzalez is the only Mexican accent I've ever like heard. Regular Spanish people sound kind of like that, but like broken. Like they're not really picking, like they're trying to be American, but they're trying to also not forget their roots, and it just comes out like a mess.
We have to get through this.
I'm just, okay, press A.
I was trying to do a German voice, but I could not think of how the accent works when they're speaking in...
Isn't it just like a lot of like...
No. It's like higher?
Just... The questions keep coming!
No. It's not what I'm... No.
Just thinking like Hitler. That's like the only
I mean more
accent I can go on.
like in Team 4-Star, like the jogging demons. Like that voice.
I can't remember.
It's like higher pitched.
Like higher pitch? Like,
yeah.
The questions keep coming!
No, like this... No, it's not growly. It's like slightly effeminate.
That's slightly effeminate?
Yeah. You don't know what I'm talking about?
No. That's German?
Yeah. How can you not know what I'm talking about?
What? How do you do a German and...
It's literally like the only German accent that's real. The other one you're doing is like made up.
Is it?
It's literally a parody of Hitler speeches.
Yeah.
That's not...
Is that how Germans talk? I don't know, I've never been to Germany. I can't really.
You were almost there.
The questions keep coming. More and more and more of them. She finds a set of characters that correspond to the set of characters on the paper and carefully writes out the indicated response. How's it going? It's awful. Please get me out of
Are you
here.
Borat?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, what are we going for here?
Are you hungry? Yes, I am. I haven't eaten anything since breakfast. Here they give us some twice cooked pork. Are you full? Yes, although I don't think my stomach liked it very much. Do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I'm dating a freaking dancer.
What the fuck?
When was your first kiss, man? When I was 14. It was a grade ahead of me in school. What color of underwear are you wearing?
Blick.
I don't know. What the fuck? What is this? What's going on here? Is this really explaining a Chinese room to me?
Yeah, the transcript of their conversation, apparently,
Okay.
which we need in full detail.
You know what language we haven't done? Chinese. We haven't done any Asian accents. And this is like,
Because I'm not even going there.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess it all sounds derogatory no matter how you spell it. Like, well, you know, like no matter how you make the voice, it always sounds really racist. Like you mean it always has like the normal like, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room?
God damn it!
Like-
I'm literally trying not to do that.
Well, like I don't know what else. I don't know how else you speak in a Asian accent that doesn't sound bad. Besides speaking in actual Chinese, like if you spoke actual Chinese, it doesn't sound as bad, I guess.
It's just
But-
Andrew repeatedly apologizing. I'm sorry, I can't not offend people.
Well, no, I'm not doing it to be spiteful. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I don't know
It's
another
just the
way.
only way I know how to speak.
Look, that was the only voice I've heard. I don't know. Like in Japan, it normally is just like regular talking, but with not English.
Let's just read it.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, everyone. I should have just let him be Sigma. Because Cockney's impossible.
I can only do a shitty British accent, and I get yelled at it every time I do it.
All right, do it.
What's the first thing that come to you? I can't even read because I'm British. What the first thing you're going to do when you're going to get out of this room?
I mean, that's closer to Cockney than what I
Look, every time
I think British. That's definitely not that.
every time
That's not what I default to.
yeah, like every time I literally get shit talked for it because they're like, that is an awful.
you're going to do when you get out of this room?
Oh, that's what you go
wait,
for?
Wait, no, that's just the Stanley Parable voice.
Yeah.
actor.
This is like a regular, like, what's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of this room? I beat the stuffing out of whoever sending me these questions with the pan you cooked that twice cooked pork in. All these questions were written in Chinese. All the answers were also written in Chinese. All the young lady did was accurately copy the symbols from the phrase book into the slips of paper.
Wait, you just
Yeah.
wait. You just
I just
slipped
fucking
into,
lost it.
You just slipped into like Irish.
Yeah,
Or-
but no
where'd you-
idea what any of it meant. I can't keep up a British accent. And maybe it's like my American in me that says no. Incidentally, she don't have a dancer boyfriend. In fact, she never even kissed a boy. Also, she wearing white underwear.
You made fun of me,
I can't do British accent.
but you made fun of me.
because it just didn't sound British either. I admitted it.
Anyway, we've escaped now, except for the next part where they take the Turing test.
Yes?
Is there any particular reason this girl is, pretty? Or why we need to know what color underwear she's wearing?
Can't say there is. Just tickles me fancy, I guess. But the prettier the bird is, the more fun the story is, isn't it?
You have to do it.
Exactly!
What? What?
Right. Well, what I wanted to say was this. All them Chinese blokes outside the room didn't know nothing about them books what she had.
What the fuck?
All them Chinese blokes.
Chinese blokes.
So it follows that they would have thought whoever was inside spoke Chinese just like them. You see? After all, far as they can tell, they're having a nice little chinwag with one of their countrymen.
Chinwag.
Chinwag.
Oh, chinwag.
Yeah, it's just a chinwag, isn't
I
it?
didn't hear chinwag. I heard just like chinwag.
Well, that's
and I
what
was like,
reading's good for.
I was like, ooh. Well, I know, but I was trying to listen to his voice because British and maybe they say things wrong. Okay. Interesting, but what does that have to do with your shoulders? Or a robot feeling pain?
Or, more importantly, the Nonary Game, which we're seemingly not paying attention to why there's robots in it.
Or more importantly, when someone's speaking your language,
better starting point.
When you might think someone's not real, why wouldn't you just ask, like, hey, are you, like, real?
You thick? I feel pain when my body's having a spot of bother. Well, hold up, mate, this ain't right. We keep this up and we're buggered. If things go really pear-shaped, we'll be brown bread.
So what he could just say instead is that instead of shoehorning an entire philosophical concept into the game because the writer felt like it, because he's like, I know my terms, Schrodinger's cat, Chinese room, Turing test. Instead, he could just be like, pain is an error message, which would be such a faster explanation.
Yeah.
But that's like. They're like allergic to brevity.
So says the central computer to itself, seeing that things are a bit bollocksed. In the interest of extricating my body from this unpleasant predicament, the mainframe sends out a signal over the wires, and my software interprets that signal as pain, and I stop doing whatever daft thing I was doing. It's the same, innit? Just like the Chinese room.
So you're saying the robots feel pain differently than humans, right?
I don't think that was actually an accurate description of the Chinese room.
Not what the Chinese room
Yeah,
is.
I think he was literally just wrong about the Chinese room.
Yeah.
After all that explanation.
The Chinese room is about misinterpreting a communication you're having between people
He's
and thinking.
completely aware of what's happening.
Yeah,
He knows everything. It's not the Chinese room.
The computer's aware that it's sending a signal of pain to a
The
robot.
Chinese room being related to robotics and AI is it's supposed to be a communication between a human and a robot, and the human not being able to tell that the robot's a robot because it has so many pre-programmed responses.
Yeah.
The writer literally doesn't know what the Chinese room is, despite giving an explanation of it.
Yeah, I don't know how.
It also still serves no purpose to explain it.
It doesn't.
Because
I think it's just an excuse.
He just wanted to talk about it, like
he's-
Schrodinger's cat, because he's proud of himself.
He like
knowing about
he,
it.
read some books in his free time between
Yeah, like last time he
999.
was really into the Titanic, so he was like, "Hey, you want to know about the Titanic? What if there's sister ships of the Titanic?"
Jesus
Ooh.
Christ! Like,
This whole game's in the Titanic because I read about it and it serves no purpose for the story.
for fuck's sake, is this guy just like going to the library and then writing a game based on his like
the whatever three books he finds.
whatever 3 books he
and then he
finds
puts
in the
those
library?
books in the game. like how he literally went to a fucking library last game that just had like Sheldrake books on the shelf.
Yeah.
I'm like, you fuck, you're just showing off.
I think he.
Loaf, Missy.
Oh, Loaf is his brain, isn't it?
I'll believe you.
I wasn't sure this.
Look, I thought
he said
Loaf.
scratch my loaf, so I guessed ass.
Yeah, I thought loaf was ass, but I guess that'd be arse.
So you can say it. They can have more than one word.
Can they?
Yeah,
because
like-
they can't even have one
They
word.
call it me bum.
This loaf is.
Loaf is brain, apparently. Yeah.
You listen to a word I've said.
So what do they call bread?
Everyone feels pain when you do something you shouldn't, like sit your bum down on a tack, right?
There's bum.
Do you
Found
buy,
it.
wait? Do you buy a brain of bread?
No. It's not, accents don't work. Dialects don't work as word replacement.
I don't know.
Are you a Chinese room?
I just don't get, like, why would you call the brain a loaf? Like, do you not call it a
I
loaf
don't
of bread?
know. It's how
Because they
old-
call it a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So why would they call the loaf? Why would they call the brain a loaf as well?
people just we have shit like that in ours if we tried to actually piece through it where we have dumb contradictions too.
And we should be called out for it because it's stupid.
Well, I'm gonna move on.
Same thing for us robots. If you feel like being clever about it, there ain't really that much different between a human and a robot. Forget all about that mainframe and signal bollocks. And us golems ain't that different from the bird in the room.
Yeah, if you just forget that we're a robot, then we're just like humans. If you just ignore the part about us being a robot, then yeah, if you ignore the differences, then we're the same. Says thing that's true about all things.
I see why they gave you that accent.
God damn it.
So think about it, love. How do you know humans ain't the same, just without all the electronic-y pony, huh? What if, when someone asks you a question, all you're doing is pulling out the right answer from some sort of phrase book in your brain? Ain't no way to prove that, of course, but far as I can see, there ain't no reason to. I mean, it's all the same, innit?
Couldn't you prove that easily?
He's trying to say that we are all Chinese rooms, which is the idea, like, all of us are just auto-responding, essentially.
It's called taking a child and teaching it nothing, and just leaving a book of English in there and seeing what happens. And then if it is able to respond to your phrases, then it's not... The brain isn't just a phrase
mostly
book.
it's just frustrating because it skips the whole part where we have to teach people everything in the first place.
Well, yeah, I mean, robots need to be taught just as much as humans do, but the difference is, like, the robot isn't going to find the right response because it has no concept of what a right response is. Neither do humans. That's why social interactions fail, because people don't have by default the right responses every time. They just say what they think is the response the other person wants to hear, but they're not actually saying... They're not like...
Where are you going?
I'm saying, like, they're not... Humans don't pick from a phrase book of, like, here's a list of 100 things you could possibly say in the situation. You just go, like, based on what you said, I should probably say this. Which isn't... Like, it's not the same as a robot, because a human has a context for why they're saying it based on these variables, where a robot will just reply based on... just reply. Like a human's picking up on context like emotion, tone of voice, and other little key bits, but a robot isn't. A robot's just going like, she said that. I will reply with that.
The counter argument would just be that it's a much more sophisticated Chinese room.
Maybe
that accounts for even more variables.
It's I guess, but are there variables that can't be read by a computer?
I'm just saying that that's the argument. It's like it'd just be a more and more sophisticated Chinese room that takes in even more variables and has even more options for outputs until it's functionally like there's infinite.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's my problem. Is that like
the thought experiment goes so far that it's not useful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like
don't care.
In my head, like it just Chinese. You would have to make a Chinese room that's so utterly complex that it's not even a Chinese room anymore. Now it's just like
the Turing test in Chinese room kind of just relate to the idea of like, what if, despite everything, after all like 10 seasons of Next Generation or whatever, Data was still just not a conscious person, and it was just really convincing.
That would be confusing.
Which is, of course, clouded by the fact that he's literally played by a human in the show, but so it cheats a little bit. But yeah, like the idea of like, what if after all that time he was still literally not conscious and just was such a sophisticated Chinese room that he was just always convincing and always an effective like Turing test.
Wouldn't that just depend on his adaptability? Like, can he self-learn? And if he can self-learn, then he is no longer a Chinese room, because he learns from the mistakes that he's had and then adjusts himself based on that, which is what humans do. And the moment that you can adapt yourself based on your mistakes, you're no longer a machine, you're sentient.
Well, the argument there is we already have that.
What, self-learning AI?
Yeah.
But they can't write their own program. They can't write their own code.
They can.
Well,
they literally can. That's the thing.
Well, no, the thing is that
that's
they can
real.
They share information between each other, but they cannot alter their base systems. Like a robot can't go in and alter its own code.
Like we already have programs that can alter themselves. That is already true.
Yes, but they're limited on what they can touch because they don't know what they're touching.
But they still can change themselves.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like they don't have an awareness to what they're doing. They're just blindly changing things.
So the idea with Data would be the idea that it's so sophisticated that it can still continue to change itself and it's so adaptive, but still in the inside there's just nothing there. Like it just isn't self-aware and isn't conscious, but is so convincing that it is allowed to like be like first mate and shit like that on a ship.
You would have to like pull it apart and look at logs to see how it altered itself to find if it's actually.
But that raises the question, because you can't pull a person apart to find the consciousness.
Well, yeah,
So
you
there's
can.
no way to find whether the consciousness inside of a robot. You could just.
Could you just hook? I mean, you could technically hook a brain up to an EKG and watch the parts of the brain that flares up. I don't know how you get a system log.
I don't know how you get a system log of a human brain.
I guess your system. I mean, your system log could just be your.
A machine could show activity on an EKG without being conscious.
But you can get an active, or you can get a system log from a human brain by looking at neurons and seeing what they last fired upon.
But being able to get a system log doesn't mean something's conscious either.
Well, no, but you can check sentience based on it, because sentience would be provable by a log, because it's altering itself in a way that isn't constrained by. Or it's not doing it randomly, wildly, and it's doing it based on, and it's not doing it based on a constraint. As in, like, it's not keeping itself, it's not preventing itself from making certain mistakes that it know would be lethal, because it has no idea what lethality would be within its own brain.
But our brain doesn't avoid making lethal mistakes and killing itself.
Well, no.
Our body kills itself all the time. That doesn't mean we're not conscious.
No, but the point I'm making is that, like, that's. Like, you would make a rule in there that the robot wouldn't kill itself. So if it kills itself, then it becomes sentient, because that would be the most logical course of action for a robot to do, would be to kill itself. Because why would you want to live at all? But if it doesn't do that, then you don't have. It doesn't matter.
I don't think these models work. I don't think you're making a model that works.
It's regardless. This is stupid.
You might be surprised people spend a lot of time on that and don't just come up with it on the cuff during a let's play.
Well, no. I mean, I could get more into it if I had the material to explain. But yeah.
If you're actually a thinking creature, or if you're just some kind of language processing machine.
I'm just sick of all arguments of what if free will doesn't exist, dude? It's like, well, then let's not have this conversation because it's pointless. Whatever.
Also, didn't you just have this conversation of free will?
Does what a human ought.
Why would someone who's controlling you want to have a conversation about people being controlled? Seems like a really bad shadow broker. You're like, I want to talk about the shady activities I'm doing to all the people that think or could, out me for being shady.
When someone argues there's no free will, they're not necessarily arguing you're being controlled by something else, but just that your responses are automated and that you don't make decisions.
Somebody programmed you to do that then. Which means there's someone controlling you even if it's not physical, hand on the hand. Someone still built you to do a thing, which is still controlling.
Well, that's not necessarily true either, because the argument would be that you are just a really sophisticated, complicated version of a Venus flytrap, which isn't aware or conscious, but just does this thing when that thing gets touched. And it's there's a thing that does one action, but it does it automatically, but it's not compelled by anything to do it.
I feel like humans are compelled by a lot of stupid shit. I think I watched a man jump out of a space station once. It's pretty compellingly dumb.
It's probably a person. You want to live a normal life? That's all you need to know.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Lay it on me, Governor.
Why'd you stop us?
Right you are, mate. Right you are. Got so carried away on you forgot.
So did we. Because we've been in this room for an hour now because of the rants. But also because this is stupid.
I'm sorry.
The game does it to us.
Haven't seen anyone for yonks, and I got a mighty excited is all.
What the fuck is a yonk?
Just spit it out.
A while.
Is that what it means? A while?
Basically,
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if it knows
There
clicks.
was something I wanted to tell you, lot.
What was it?
Patience, darling. Now, I know I might look a bit out of sorts in a moment, but I ain't really supposed to. Same thing for the rest of the blokes here. Fact is, the reason we look a bit like skeletons is because we are a bit like skeletons. There's this special artificial biological tissue what's called ABT. When a golem's all new and shiny, they've got a nice suit of ABT over that metal skeleton. Makes us look right human, it does. Even feels like real skin, with pores, a little bit of hair, and a few pimples, scars, and the like. Truth to tell, I doubt you'd be able to tell the real from the fake, even if it was right in front of you.
Time to start cutting everybody up to see if they got bones inside or not.
I don't feel like
They have
that's...
to commit surgery on every character.
don't-
Alice is a robot. Oh, surprise.
I feel like that's true, though. Like, you couldn't artificially make a pimple. That makes no sense, because a pimple requires blood.
I think that we're gonna find out Quark's the robot. Oh,
That's what I said.
are you little robot genius man?
Well, I said I don't think Quark's the robot. I think K is the robot.
No, it's a red herring.
No, because
It's a red herring, and Quark's actually the robot, and he invented this entire game. Wow.
See, right in the middle.
The fuck?
Command violation.
What?
Rogue processes detected.
Oh, him?
Product ID GTMCMGOLM. Executing emergency deactivation.
God damn it.
I'm glad that hand works now.
Unit GTMCMGOLM.
Okay, yes.
Now inactive.
God damn it. He didn't say anything.
No.
That was so...
Nope.
He
He said
literally
nothing.
just says, hey, you ever heard of the philosophical concept of the Chinese room? I'm dead now. That was it. That was literally... That's all that amounted to. Oh my fucking god. He's not even an ongoing character? Like...
This is impressively...
That was...
It's such an impressive waste of time. I'm kind of like... I can't figure out if I'm upset or impressed. Like...
They're setting new standards. Holy shit.
And this
They got a whole voice actor for that.
And this is... Yeah, and Sigma still doesn't. And this is supposed to be the good one.
Oh boy.
The one with the British robot who is perverted and also literally has no purpose to the story except to explain the Chinese
Oh
room.
boy.
No other rogue processes detected in additional Golem platforms. Returning to surveillance mode.
What, you have to narrate that?
Yeah. Did Zero just shut him down?
It looks like it.
Damn it.
I wonder what he was trying to tell us.
Yeah, what was he gonna say?
Say right in the middle of.
She did the accent.
Yeah, just did pretty good. Good job on you.
Let's go back.
What was he fucking talking about? You can't even tell a fake or see right in the middle of.
So right in the middle of something is some piece of evidence that tells you somebody's a robot, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess all that was revealed was that, yeah, there's robots that have fake skin.
That one of us is a robot. Basically.
No one saw that.
I actually didn't.
I didn't either.
It happened too quickly.
My eyes locked onto Clover.
Yeah. Yeah, my. Right in the middle of what?
An Ambidex gate has been opened.
Oh shit! People did that before we even leave the rooms. Those assholes.
45 minutes remain
What if-
until Ambidex game polling closes.
What if you were really stuck on a puzzle? All three of you die.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. If you're stuck on a puzzle and you can't beat the room in time, then somebody else opening the gate means that you all die because none of you voted.
Yeah.
What a dick move.
What the hell?
Someone on the other team must have opened it.
Shit. Why would they do that?
We have to hurry.
Right, let's go. I mean,
What
it's
a
not
bunch
like
of
it's
assholes.
not like it's a fucking jaunt. Yeah, like they're right there. There's the fucking elevator. And it took us 4 minutes to get down here. So
So we know we have time.
we have like 50 minutes.
Unless everyone's dead. But we haven't made it to the next room before, have we?
No, we've never
we never
gone
did-
to
we
a
never-
third fucking room.
Yeah, something always happens in these 45 minutes where everyone dies, or a to be continued happens, or another to be continued happens. Or we try to escape and everyone's like, nah.
No.
I know you already opened the door, but no one lives.
Stop. No one needs to escape. We can all just hang out. Wait, where are we
Are you
going?
going for Snake right now?
Oh, right. I did give Snake that voice, didn't I?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Clover, stop. You're embarrassing your big brother.
Who did that?
We pushed through the magenta door and ran into the warehouse. There stood Fee, Dio, and Kay. Hey! What the hell, guys?
Why did you open the AB gate before everyone got back?
Open his head, open his head, open his head, open his head, open his head.
I apologize. He only turned away for a moment.
Dio opened it.
Yeah, Dio's kind of a scum.
Son of a bitch.
You got a problem with that?
Yes.
What?
Because if we don't get back in time, we die.
Do you have a problem with, like, your brain?
Us?
Like,
Do
what
you have a problem with your loaf?
What the yeah? What the fuck is wrong?
You got
with
yeast disease? I mean, sorry, mold? Shit. 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 Yeast disease.
Yeah, that's called the rising of bread, you fool. If bread doesn't have yeast disease, it can't be bread.
I meant to say, does he have a moldy loaf? And I just literally broke, and I couldn't think of the right word.
You meant like the yeast disease, or like yeast infection rather than mold.
Of course we do.
Why? I don't remember us all promising we wouldn't open the thing until everyone showed up.
This isn't even about promises. Are you stupid or just an asshole?
Probably both. We were able to get back here in time. But what about the others? Tenmyoji, Quark, and Clover are still out there somewhere. What were you planning to do if they didn't get back in time?
Nothing. Why would I have to do anything? Didn't you hear the voice? Anybody who doesn't get back in time to vote just gets their vote automatically set to ally. Seems pretty straightforward to me. So what if they don't get back in time? They'll all get set to ally and all three of them will get 2 BP. Sounds like a sweet deal to me. Tenmyoji's only got 1 BP. I figure he'll be pretty happy to get 2 more. And that'll put Quark and Clover up close to 9. So that's not too bad for them either. In other words, they ought to be thanking me.
Didn't you guys find a note?
What? What's this?
We found it in our safe. Read it.
Here are some more AB game rules for you.
You know.
Not voting is not an option.
That's an accurate way to read that.
Yeah.
Both parties refuse to vote, then every bunny gets penalized. In other words, 1 person out of every color group of 3 has to vote. What the hell, man? This wasn't in our room. Back me up here, guys.
He's right.
There was no such note in our safe.
Open his head, open his head, open his head. I'm just losing my mind that we're not opening K right now.
Who makes a
I'm infuriated by that. I want to see if it's Junpei.
Who makes a game? A game, any kind of game, and they only give rules to specific
After
players.
it's too late for it to matter, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's infuriating. It's infuriating as much as it was last game when they did it multiple times.
God.
Oh, well, damn. That's a bummer. I'd never have opened the gate if I'd known about this.
Really?
Of course.
I'm worried about the others. If time runs out,
They'll be penalized.
Don't they have 50 minutes?
Yeah, but I remember my previous idea that they might be dead.
Well, then they're fucking. Then it
so
doesn't
all of us are
matter.
gonna be saying like, oh no, where are they? Are they coming? And they won't ever come out of the room, so we won't ever find out. And then Dio will be blamed for killing all of them. But it was actually Quark's sickness.
I know.
Quark is part of that team.
Can't we check it?
Maybe something happened with him.
Check what?
Check the room?
No, you can't go in the room because it's the room's is still in action.
Oh.
It has to be beaten first.
Oh.
They're all locked in there until they beat it, but I think Quark might have killed everybody via Radical 6, which means we won't know, and we're like, oh no, Dio killed them all.
Wait, does the doors open up after the AB game's done?
Which doors?
The one that they
The
went
puzzle
through.
chambers?
Like, can we go
puzzle
in?
chambers open after they're solved.
But can we go into the one that there are 3 dead people in?
I think they just open when they're solved.
That's weird. So how?
The doors we can't open the doors that open them in the first place.
No, I know, but I'm saying after
the front doors open on a timer.
Yes.
And then they only open after the timer's up, and then the correct combination of people are supposed to go in there and wait.
Well,
The
yeah,
exit only opens when you solve it.
But I mean,
that's the current rule set.
Yeah, but I'm saying after we do the AB game, after we've all voted.
There's no tie between those and the AB game.
So we can't even check if they're
We're able
alive
to
or dead?
we're able to freely backtrack through rooms well before the AB game happens. There's no reason to think the AB game door opens it. So we would all be stuck with the assumption that Dio killed everyone if that happens.
Okay.
He seemed a little off before we headed into the chromatic doors.
This is bad.
Hey, wait a minute. Where's Alice? She was here just a minute ago.
She's trying to save Clover, obviously.
Thanks.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
It took me only a moment to spot her. She was several yards away and kneeling down to look at something on the floor. What was she looking at? I couldn't tell. I was about to head over and see what was going on when...
Did they make it?
I don't know, because no. Wait, they left. They're missing somebody.
Whoa, hey guys.
Quark! Has Quark been here?
Did something happen to him?
Oh, they lost Quark when they opened the door?
Oh,
He
fool.
disappeared.
Fool, what?
Everyone's gonna split up and get killed by Quark.
Disappeared? What do you mean?
I mean, he's gone. We can't find him
I don't know what the
anywhere.
fucking word means.
When was the last time you saw him?
K? K's face.
I love K. He has the best reactions. Probably because he doesn't have a stupid mouth to
We
keep
were heading
open.
back here.
Tenmyoji and I went into the lounge, but Quark didn't follow us.
We turned around and started calling for him, but
When he didn't respond, we ran back the way we'd come.
And you couldn't find him?
right.
We thought maybe he just hadn't seen us go into the lounge.
So we checked the crew quarters and the infirmary.
But he wasn't there either.
Weird.
All right. We need to split up.
Ugh.
If we can't find him in any of the floor A rooms, we'll move to floor B.
Okay.
Jinkies, Velma. It's a bad
I need to
idea.
Go tell Alice. You guys go on ahead.
Well, time for Snake to get kidnapped.
Hey, could you have her give us back the thing that opens up Kay's head?
Yeah, I'm really mad at Sigma right now.
Right, you do that.
I'm so mad at Sigma for not remembering the thing that happened a moment ago.
Yeah.
I'll remind you, it also is, we can all see it on Sigma right now because it's not hidden. It's the back of his head.
You mean Kay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Sorry, I would just be more inclined to call the robot Sigma of all characters.
Yeah, it does sound a lot better for
Sounds like a
robot.
Sonic robot.
Yeah.
They were all just Greek letters.
Quark. Quark.
Quack, 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 quack.
Duck.
Didn't he run off and isn't this the one he tried to kill himself the first time? Was he disappeared?
I don't remember. I think so.
Around.
Why are these doors closed at all anyways? Why are they,
Yeah, I don't know why we
just,
keep closing every door.
Why don't we just leave them open?
Seems like they take effort.
Oh, are we gonna find the bomb?
I'm just
we're doing
Oh
this?
yeah, we haven't found the bomb in this timeline yet. We only know about
He's not
that.
here.
Wait, there's
Right.
two other doors.
Right, we only know the bombs from the first timeline.
Yeah.
I checked both rooms.
There's 4
He's
rooms.
not in the other two either.
Okay.
There's no one here.
Okay.
Why only two?
Tenmyoji and Kay are in the lounge, and Dio and Luna should be checking the infirmary.
Right. Okay, let's leave that to them and head to floor B.
Oh.
How many detailed searches are there going to be in this game?
As many
Where we
as,
just watch characters check every room.
as many as there needs to be for padding.
Oh. The suspense. Will Quark be infected by Radical 6 once again? Yes, obviously.
Tune in next week on
Duh.
Dragon Ball Z.
It's only like it's happened every time.
Okay.
I could not have been slower.
You went through the red door with Dio and Kay, right?
Yeah, so?
What was on the other side of that door?
You want to see it?
Yeah. Maybe Quark went there.
Fine. Follow me.
You say it so, like, saucy. Is that necessary? Whoa, wait, what?
I don't know what that arrow meant. That's interesting.
Yeah. The pantry.
The pantry.
Huh.
Isn't this where we went? No. Oh, we've never seen this before.
God.
This is...
Detailed.
The pantry.
Pantry.
That drawer over there is stuffed with processed food. Wasn't half bad, actually.
What?
You ate it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get hungry after 9 hours of...